One of the biggest to me is doing anything we can do as a state to create jobs here. And one of the things, if you look at the fastest growing cities in America, almost all of them are in states with no income tax. We can compete with Texas because we don't have a state property tax, and they have pretty high property taxes. So if you look at it on paper, if we can lower the income tax rates, we don't have to get rid of it, but we can just lower it to 2% or something like that, offset that with the credits that we were talking about earlier, we can present a case to business as being one of the best tax structures for business in the country. Even though we still have a very small personal income tax and corporate income tax on the books, if we can present that, then that is the best thing we can do for the future of the state. Because the fact of the matter is people are leaving high-tax states like California, New York, and New Jersey. They're moving to states with no or low income tax. And the reason people are moving is because that's where the jobs are being created. The businesses are going to the states with a favorable business tax structure, and people are going to follow the jobs. So if you want to grow, I believe 4 of the top 9, maybe 5 of the top 9 fastest growing cities in the country are in Texas. It's not a secret how they got there. But even if you look at it now, if you get the CPA to explain it, we're comparable with Texas now, even though on paper it doesn't look good. But if you factor in their property tax and you factor in our credits, we come out okay. But it's hard to explain that to people. So the best thing that I would focus on is some kind of income tax reform. What Governor Jindal tried to do a couple of years ago with the sales tax, I don't think is necessarily a very good idea. Maybe that can be a small component, but you can't replace it completely. But if we could address that issue, which I really don't think it'll be that hard because of the credits and exemptions, I think that can be relatively painless, and it can be something that presents Louisiana in a better light around the state, because stopping the brain drain and stopping people leaving the state was something that was talked about the whole time I was growing up. When I was in college, that was something that was a problem. We're doing okay now, but not quite as good as we could. That's something that I think we definitely need to focus on. I've introduced legislation, one bill to eliminate, I've actually introduced legislation to eliminate corporate income tax twice, and wants to eliminate income tax for retirees. If you retire in a public sector, military, teacher, something like that, you don't pay income tax, but private sector retirees do. And my dad retired from State Farm, went to Mississippi, came back to Louisiana and called and said, hey, I just took a pay cut when I moved back to Louisiana. That's not the way we need to go. Retirees just proportionally have more money than everybody else. We need to be attracting them to Louisiana, not chasing them away. So doing away with private sector, income tax on private sector retirement benefits, I looked it up. I pulled the numbers from the Department of Revenue. It would be about a $259 million cut, which is not that significant in the overall scheme of how big the budget is. And with the potential to attract retirees to Louisiana, I think it could pay itself back tenfold easily. And so there's certain things that we can look at, that I think we need to look at, to make Louisiana more attractive to the businesses and the people that are already here and people that are looking to relocate.